Hello, welcome back to section 2, and now we're going to look at the third way that we choose pleasure, and that is really just choosing pleasure, being aware of our inner choice, being aware of what choice we're making inside. And you probably remember from the introduction that there's two basic choices inside: the choice for fear, choice for pleasure. We could also call that the choice for love. And so basically, it's very simple, is that if we want pleasure, if we want love and joy and peace in our life, then we have to choose that. We have to make a choice. And this level of choice, as I explained before, is on a level of mind or spirit. So we need to be willing to go back into our minds and make a choice at that level. And in the third section of this training, we'll look at how you do that from a painful place to getting back to choosing pleasure in our mind. But just right now in section 2, we're looking at what would the results be of choosing love or choosing pleasure in my mind, in that level of spirit. What does that really mean to choose pleasure? Is that a goal that I would even want? Is that going to be the focus of my life, to choose pleasure on that level? Or am I going to choose pleasure on a different level, on the identity of being a body? So choosing pleasure on the level of my mind, of my true identity, would mean that I would have the thought or the experience that I'm never separate from love. I'd be back into connecting with my true self, my true identity, and know that I'm a loving being, know who I truly am on that level. And then I'm connected to everyone. I would have an experience that I'm never separate, not only from my true self, but from anyone around me. Not looking out, of course, at separate bodies and going, okay, there's a separate person over there, of course I'm separate from them. But I would have an experience that in some way we're all connected. In some way we share the same purpose, that we're all loving beings, and I would see that love that's beyond the outer appearance. I would see the light that's shining beyond what they say or do. And I would have that love reflected back to me in any circumstance that I was in, because I'd chosen it within myself. So I look out and I experience a reflection of love in any situation I'm in. And I just wrote at the bottom, I experience pleasure. So that's what I was explaining. I experience pleasure no matter what the circumstances are. They might still be less than ideal on the level of form, on the physical level. I may not be getting the results, and I'm still feeling peaceful. I'm still feeling pleasurable, because my inner pleasure is totally independent of anything that's happening around me. And the only thing that can change that is my own choice. The only thing that can happen on that inner level is that I choose fear rather than pleasure. I choose fear rather than love. I choose pain rather than pleasure. One personal example about choosing pleasure on this level happened in Brazil not that long ago. I was with my family, my 2 children and my mother-in-law. We were all in the airport. It was a very busy holiday, and eventually we got to the front of the queue. My wife had done the booking of the tickets, but when she got there she was told that she was a whole day early for her flight. The flight was not until the next day. I was in a good space and I was just smiling, and I thought this was funny. I thought it was even hilarious. My daughter had a different attitude. She wanted an apology from her mother. It was really inconvenient getting up early to come to the airport. She had packed her suitcase, and now what was she going to do? And she was really cross and angry with her mother. And she said to me, "Daddy, are you not angry and upset?" And I just smiled at her. I was able to be kind to her and everyone around me because I had chosen love inside. I'd chosen pleasure inside, and nothing was going to get in the way of that. No circumstance involving having to get a taxi back to where we were renting, to pay for an extra day, to unpack and pack again the next day. There was no sense of having time wasted. It was just funny. It was just a pleasurable experience. The circumstances most people would judge as being less than ideal. They may want to blame someone for it. And that's what my daughter wanted to do. But not only was I able to be kind to her, I was obviously kind to my partner and my other child and my mother-in-law, and we just had a good time. So that's an example of when you choose pleasure inside, it doesn't matter what's happening outside. You're still going to have fun. You're still going to experience pleasure regardless of the circumstances, regardless of other people, whether they're getting upset and frustrated and sad and disappointed. You've got this inner sense of well-being, security, inner sense of joy and pleasure that can be unaffected by anything around you. So let's look in more detail at that again in the slideshow, and I'll see you there very soon. Thank you.